Well, hello everyone. We changed headdresses again. I'm Kevin Joyce. Welcome to the first ever virtual fundraiser for Vashon Wilderness program.
I'm Martha Ensign. We are Enjoy Productions. We are so thrilled to be here with all of you tonight. We're streaming from the Arts Center on Vashon Island, in case you're not on the island, and we are socially distanced. We are close together and not masked because we're married, but everybody else is masked and separated as per protocol.
Thank you so much. Before we begin tonight, we would like to take a moment to honor and acknowledge that we are on the unceded ancestral land of the coastal Salish people, the Puyallup, the Duwamish, and the Muckleshoot. Please welcome Jackie Lone, one of Vashon Wilderness Program's beloved mentors, who is here to share a few words with you.
For many years, I have had a ritual when I go onto the land. I sing, "Spirit of this place, I am calling to you. I sing to you, sing to you. I am calling to you." For me, the spirit of this place speaks to the plants and animals, water, sky, and earth, the trees, and also to all who have walked gently on this land, lived as part of this place, and those who are still doing what needs to be done, standing strong in the face of ongoing injustice. Today, each of us are on various lands. These lands once belonged to others. If you know the names of those whose spirit is still part of and mingled with the land you are on, speak their name. Type it into the chat. Here on Vashon, the Squabash, known today as part of the Puyallup tribe, the Duwamish, the Suquamish, Nisqually, Muckleshoot, and many other coastal Salish tribes. Let us take a moment to honor and acknowledge them and the land under our feet. We are all part of this place. We are all part of one another. In deep gratitude. Spirit of this place, I am calling to you. I sing to you, sing to you. I am calling to you.
Well, Jackie is one of our oldest friends on the island, and it's that kind of root that we're talking about today. At Vashon Wilderness Program, it's a tradition to share words of appreciation at the beginning of every program, at every meeting, and every special event like this one. One of our teachers, the late Jake Swamp, sub-chief of the Wolf Clan of the Mohawk Nation, shared the words of wisdom that words of gratitude are the words that come before all else. And here to lead us in gratitude is Vashon Wilderness Program Elder Christina Turner.
Woodpecker, frog, hummingbird, or eagle, I wonder if I'll hear you today. Huckleberry, fern, Doug fir, and cedar, thank you for growing where I love to play. Mushroom and dragonfly, tracks of a deer who wandered by. I wonder what I can spy in my forest home today. Hello, dear friends of Vashon Wilderness Program. Take yourself for a moment into the woods in your imagination. On a beautiful spring day. And tell me in the chat, what are you feeling grateful for today? There's so much between us that we hold in gratitude. Thank you for supporting VWP with your hearts and minds united.
So, gratitude. Yeah. So if you have some words of gratitude, please type them into the chat stream right now and let us know something that you feel grateful for so we can share it with the community.
I know I'm grateful for both respect and humor at a time when we need it. In these strange and challenging times, the connection to the natural world and to each other is solace and teacher. We would so rather be all together in the woods or on a big lodge with all of you, but that's not to be for this year's event for obvious reasons. But we want to take a moment also to acknowledge the isolation and the difficulty and the suffering that so many people are experiencing during this time.
Let's see. I'm grateful, says Laura Kamner, for spring rains and beautiful buds.
Gratitude for the mountains. Oh,
Grateful for
fantastic.
the owl neighbors who I hear calling to one another at night.
Grateful for the stellar jays who visit my yard.
And Stacy says she's so grateful to all of you, the Dear Vashon Wilderness Program families and supporters.
Catherine Payne has to point out that she's grateful for silly adults.
I'm grateful
wearing
for Catherine.
moss on their heads.
I'm grateful
Thanks so
for
much
Catherine
for that.
Payne.
That's great. Grateful for water.
Patrick says he's grateful for water, grateful for mom and daughter relationships.
We are grateful
Me
to all of you
too.
for being here and sharing your humor and your gratitude and your deep respect for this program and for nature. Our hearts also and our love go out to everyone who has been experiencing loss and hardship during this pandemic and these times of such social upheaval. We really hope that this program, this experience, will provide a sense of vision and a sense of optimism for our collective and our community future at Vashon Wilderness Program. The power of the natural world to connect our hearts, to engage our imaginations, to build our community has always been a driving force behind this organization. And this year, it's more true than ever.
Over the next hour, we're going to hear the history of Vashon Wilderness Program. We're going to bid on some awesome silent items and support our beloved VWP with direct funding to help sustain this unique and vital organization so that they, in turn, can support the next generation to learn and grow connected with nature.
So we hope you're excited and that you are libated, which is a verb, believe it or not, to have a beverage with you of whatever type, whatever you want to drink or eat, and that you have yourself set up to see us. We have the screen right here. We can see you and the chat, all the folks that are here.
Christina Turner, who
So
we just saw.
We've seen all of
Mary
you on here.
DeJong.
And it's
Stacey
absolutely
Hinden's been on.
delightful to
Renee
have you all with
Marceau
us.
is here. Jane and the Valencia family. I know Patrick said his whole family was here. We invite you to talk to us and each other in the chat. Max Giving site has that chat box. Just say hi. Let us know you're out there. We'd love to say hi back to you.
Okay, so how does all this work? Some critical housekeeping. You're probably already in the right place, but let's give some details.
We're going to be doing a lot of interaction with you, and we
Yes,
want to
we
make
are.
sure that you're all set up to enjoy all of
Yes.
it. So you're likely watching us on your laptop or a smart screen TV. Simple way to make it possible to bid on the auction while still watching the stream is you can use another tab or your smartphone to do the bidding or to do your purchasing.
Exactly.
So on your phone, go to vashonwilderness.maxgiving.bid on your phone, and then you can navigate between the auction and the donate button, the items for sale, while you can still watch the show on your computer. It's that easy. Or another option, of course, is to simply open 2 tabs on your computer and then toggle back and forth. And you can always stay on one screen and then hit the back button to the home page, and that'll show you where to bid and donate, and you can click on the live button to get back to us here on the screen.
See?
So simple. Call us at 1-855-245-7500 at any time if you need help to connect with the show.
Now, it might be that you're not registered for the event yet with your credit card info for bidding, for donating, for buying some of the fantastic silent auction items or the 2 live items to purchase. The registration is right on the top of the home page, so be sure you do that.
When you're on the home page to bid on the silent auction items, just use the auction tab at the top of the home page.
That's right.
And for the Fund a Need segment of the program, you'll be donating by either clicking right on the screen on the amount that you see,
You'll see
right
them on
below
the
the live
bottom, yeah.
stream, or you can go back to the home page and hit the donate button and donate any amount at any time that you feel moved to do so. You could even do it more than once. So go ahead, try it right now. Go ahead.
And if just to be clear one more time, you're watching us on your computer, but you can also bid if you want on your phone or open a second tab in a window and watch the stream here and bid on the homepage. Throughout the show, you'll have the donations right there, so it's easy to make a donation and support Vashon Wilderness Program.
Again, I think the number's on your screen, but if there's tech problems, it's 855-245-7500.
Okay, done with the housekeeping. But
Good.
we think you'll probably want to know how this community has come out to support this event, because they, like you, love Vashon Wilderness Program, and you can support them in turn. So let's start with a huge thank you to Aaron Ross of Ross Insurance Advisors, who is the premier sponsor. And also thanks to
Evergreen Mortgage.
And to Thriftway.
And to Pacific Research Sawbones.
And to Vashon Pharmacy, who's doing so much for this island
We're so
right now.
grateful to John L. Scott Real Estate.
PSCCU Credit Union.
To Carb Manager.
Plum Forest Farm, our neighbor.
To Insight Physio, also our neighbors.
Everyone's our neighbor. Air Mod Architecture, thank
you.
you.
And Aruba Clay Studios, who are neighbors in the other direction. We'd like to make a note that Joanne of Plum Forest Farms is a mentor for Vashon Wilderness Program, and Esteban Roach of Aruba Clay Studios is an elder with the program. So really family.
And thank
We're really
you
grateful.
to all of them and all the sponsors. And finally, we have one very special item that we want to call to your attention. So if you look on the bottom of the screen, now you will find a limited edition heritage species illustration by our fabulous islander, Annie Brule, who we've known since she was knee-high to a grasshopper. These are only 50 of them. They're 50 prints for sale. Get yours before they're all gone. A bunch of people have picked them up. So click on that at the bottom of the screen, or if you're on the home page, just click the Items for Sale tab.
Okay, we'll be getting into your financial support for Vashon Wilderness Program a little bit later in the gala, but should you feel the urge to donate before that, for any reason, once again, you can donate any amount at any time simply by going to the donate button on the top of the homepage. We're just going to keep saying that because we're here tonight to raise money for Vashon Wilderness Program, and we know you are too.
And now it is a great pleasure to introduce to you someone we have known for many years. She's worn many hats at Vashon Wilderness Program, including founder, board member, consultant, nature mentor, program director, and since 2010, the executive director. She's devoted to leading with love and helping others to connect with their essential nature for joyful, creative, authentic living. She is passionate about the wilderness, about this island, about education. Please welcome the executive director of the Vashon Wilderness Program, Stacy Hinden.
Thank you, Kevin and Martha, and welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Strange as that is, I know. A nature connection community gathering virtually. Well, from wherever you are, Vashon, Seattle, Tacoma, or beyond, please take a moment to look out your window. Let your gaze rest upon the sky or a tree, anything from the natural world, and let's take a breath of fresh spring air together. Open our hearts and remember that we are all connected. In fact, we're here tonight to celebrate all our wild connections to one another, to our stories of heritage, to our shared love of the land and the more than human world. We're here to celebrate and honor the original peoples of this land and the guidance they offer us to care for the earth and all her children, past, present, and future. And not least of all, we are here to celebrate our amazing potential when we come together with one heart, with one mind to help our communities thrive. This year has been an incredible journey for Vashon Wilderness Program. Last year, in March, we left the forests and fields and entered the virtual world of online programming. It was wild, but of another sort. We wondered how we could possibly keep all those wet, muddy, crawling through thickets, leaping over logs, blindfolded, laughing till we fall over, singing, sneaking, quiet solos, sit-spot, bird language, listening children engaged. Online. We leaned into our teachings, got creative, and did what we do best, connection. Kids played awareness games across the screen, adventured into their backyards with missions from their mentors, and the littlest ones snuggled up with their parents to listen to stories and songs. These moments of connection with one another in the natural world were small lifelines of hope in a time of great uncertainty. And after a quiet summer, without any camps, for the first time in our history, we're back. Since September, we've been one of very few places for children to gather safely, and we've grown, adding programs to help even more kids navigate these challenging times. It's been incredibly life-giving to be together again in nature, to feel our interconnection, a sense of joy and place and peace, vitality and resilience. And who knew wearing masks could be so helpful in blending into the forest? It truly has been healing for all of us, and especially for the kids and teens who are visibly more stressed from all the disconnection, isolation, and way too much screen time this year. We've always known that being in nature is a deeply healing and holding experience for humans. It is our birthright. It is literally in our DNA to be outside together. And yet there are multiple systems of oppression that continue to perpetuate so much harm today and exclude many Black, brown, indigenous, and marginalized people from access to nature connection. Tonight, we ask that you join us in our commitment to justice within ourselves, our families, and our communities. Help us leverage our privilege to transform the landscape of nature connection to be a safe and welcoming place for all children now and beyond the pandemic. A few weeks ago, I submitted a grant to help fund a partnership with our local elementary school, one that will center nature connection within the public school system and enable every kid to connect with nature on campus during their school day. It's a tremendous undertaking and yet only a part of our journey to be a source of justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion in the field of nature connection. Never before has this work been more essential for the well-being and resilience of our kids, our communities, and the future of our planet. The long-term impact of the pandemic on children's physical, mental, and emotional health is unknown. But what is clear, children thrive in loving relationships with family, friends, mentors, and nature. And what they love, they will protect. Tonight, I'm asking you, please invest in the kids. Invest in a more just and sustainable future for all of us. Before I pass it back to Martha and Kevin, please join me in thanking everyone who helped make tonight possible. Our sponsors, community connectors, our elders and board of directors, our beloved mentors, and all of our speakers and performers, Chris Korber of Earthen, Annie Brule, the Vashon Maury Island Land Trust, our silent auction donors, many volunteers, and of course all of you, our program families, alumni, and donors. And in particular, I'd like to honor Judy Sarkeesian, who has recently gone on. She is now what I hope we will all become someday, a good ancestor. We are all Vashon Wilderness Program, and we wouldn't be here without you. Thank you for your support. Enjoy.
Stacy Hinden, what a true rock star. If you've just tuned in, we were not wearing ridiculous headpieces in the prior scene. Don't let anyone tell you that.
Kevin especially was not wearing a ridiculous
But
headpiece.
Stacy, that's leadership. What's leadership? It's the art of motivating a group of people to act towards achieving a common goal. And clearly, the forces of leadership are at work here on Vashon Wilderness Program, on the island and in this program specifically, as the organization navigates this is incredibly challenging year.
Gosh, Kevin, that is so serious.
It is serious.
And you know, leadership is not always serious, nor is it always about words.
Yeah,
so
we're going to do something now.
Let's get our blood moving.
Yeah.
I would like to have you all stand up.
Wherever you are. We can see you, by the way.
We know you're not standing yet.
Vashon Wilderness
let's see.
Program has
Heather
installed
Young,
little
stand up. Mary
cameras
DeJong,
in your house.
Jane and your whole
So
family.
everybody stand up. Everyone stand up.
All rise.
We're going to do a song.
All rise for the banana song.
Are we going to do it that way?
We're going to do it.
Yeah, right there. Okay.
Wait, I can't
Just-
get my...
You just push hard. No,
Oh,
not.
gosh.
Let's do it this
Sorry,
way.
Mike. Thank you.
That was probably loud. Here we go. Everyone
Okay.
follow along. We do everything
Ready?
twice.
All
You
rise,
guys-
everybody up.
Bananas of the
Do
world.
what we do.
Unite. Peel
Peel
bananas.
bananas.
Peel
Peel
bananas. We say peel
Peel
bananas.
bananas.
Peel
Peel
bananas.
bananas.
Chop bananas. Chop chop. Join us. Chop bananas. Chop chop bananas. Squish squish. Banana, squish, squish, bananas. You squish your neighbor. Squish, squish, bananas. Shampoo, bananas, shampoo, bananas. Come on, shampoo, bananas, shampoo, bananas. Now throw bananas, throw bananas, throw bananas, throw bananas. Now go bananas, bananas, go bananas, go boat, and it bananas of the world. Unite. See how that was?
Yeah, gosh. Thank goodness they didn't say eat bananas, eat bananas.
Because she hates bananas.
Hate bananas.
Hate bananas.
Hate bananas.
But that would have gotten your blood moving in true Vashon Wilderness Program style. See how this works? You didn't think you'd have to do that tonight, did you? Huh?
Yeah, but Stacy's watching you.
Our next presenter is someone who literally embodies the ideals of the Vashon Wilderness Program.
Mark Timken. Mark Timken has been part of the Vashon Wilderness Program community for more than 14 years. He's a founding member, a stakeholder, and now as an elder. He graduated from Pacifica Graduate Institute in 2015 with a master's in counseling with an emphasis on depth psychology, so cool, and is currently in private practice as a nature-based psychotherapist. Mark is passionate about Vashon Wilderness Program's mission to connect people more deeply with themselves, each other, and the natural world.
How great to have him with us. Please welcome Mark Timken.
Hey, Kevin and Martha, thank you. That was fabulous, and brings me back to being a young mentor when I was first starting out with the Vashon Wilderness Program. I use that song a lot, so thank you. And it reminds me of the beginning days of the Vashon Wilderness Program, and so I'm going to tell you a quick story. We'll go back in time a little bit to 2008, and I'm a full-time farmer, and I have a family, young daughter, and we're on Vashon Island feeding people, and life is fabulous, and I'm happy, and so my daughter had heard, or we had heard about the Wilderness Awareness School had a program on the island, and we heard whispers that it was really good. So we were curious about having her go and spend a day and check it out, and she did that. And she really loved it and wanted to do it, and yet she wasn't quite ready to be alone for the day. So we went home and we were kind of feeling sad because it didn't look like it was going to work out. And that night we got a call from the mentor of her group who she'd spent the day with. And I like to say we got a call from Soul because that was her name. And she said to us, well, how about this? One of you could be my apprentice, and that way I need some help, and then your daughter can come and it'll work out. So we kind of looked at each other and we're like, oh my gosh, who's gonna give up one Friday a week like that? And we were kind of nervous and trying to figure it out. And like some couples do when they're in a dilemma, how do you figure it out? Well, you flip a coin. And we flipped a coin and I lost and ended up going that first Friday with my daughter, and I was just blown away with what I saw. I was just so excited to see kids in nature connecting to themselves and to the natural world, and I was just enthralled with coyote mentoring. And so I really got into it. And in fact, I got into it so much that I started thinking about maybe becoming a mentor myself. And my interest of farming started to recede a bit. And I was spending a lot more time learning the model and getting really excited about the next year, potentially being a mentor. And it was over the summer, we got the news that the Wilderness Awareness School was not going to continue their program on Vashon. And the original families, we were just devastated. And after we went through a process of grief, we ended up, a bunch of us meeting in the McBride's house, and we were pondering and figuring out what we can do. And we all decided, well, why don't we just start our own program? And I remember thinking like, oh my gosh, that's a huge commitment. And yet I was all in. I was completely excited, and I could feel this strange calling that I kept paying attention to. And it felt like it was in conflict with other parts of my life and farming, but I decided just to go for it, and I followed the calling. And so I won't just bring you up to the current day, that what we're trying to do here with this program, which I am just continue to be amazed by, is that we're trying to create healthy culture, and healthy cultures are created by healthy individuals, and starting with healthy children. So this idea of sustainable humans, and then also life-enhancing humans, and so finding gifts and people's meaning and purpose, and focusing on the tasks of development, but making it really fun and engaging. And so it feels like even more and more today, it's critical that we're maturing and growing as human beings, and we're focusing on children. And you know, as I was getting excited, I think parents get pretty excited about this too. So if you're out there today and you're watching this and you feel grateful and you feel inspired by this program and you feel maybe a calling to donate money tonight, I would be so grateful, and to help us continue our work and support kids. And whew, I'm going to send it back to you all. Thank you.
Wow. The founders of the Vashon Wilderness Program are an amazing group, and you can see why this organization has thrived over the years. Vashon Wilderness Program uses a mentoring approach that many of you know about. It's called Coyote Mentoring, which centers around asking questions without giving answers, because the emphasis is on inspiring children to look, to assess on their own.
Well, in the spirit of Vashon Wilderness Program, let's play a little game and see just how much we're actually paying attention.
We told you we were going to be interactive. Here's how it goes. This game is called Change 3 Things. You will have 10, 15 seconds right now to stare at us on your screen, take in every detail. Then we're going to put a slide up so you can't see us, and we're going to change 3 things. Then when we come back, on the screen, you will have to find the 3 things that have changed, and the first person to put all 3 in the chat at once, you have to put them all in, they will win a new Tesla brochure. And you will have to put all 3 things in at the same time, because otherwise we won't be able to track it otherwise.
So to be clear, when you think you know the 3 things that have changed, enter your list of 3 into the chat stream. Okay. Examine the screen closely.
Great. We're going to go to a lovely image of kids learning in nature, because that's what the nature program is all about, wilderness program. But we're going to make some adjustments.
Okay. Now we get 15 seconds for you to remember everything you saw on your screen.
Ready? Go. Don't move yet.
Okay. Are we live? We're live. Okay.
Wait, we are?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh, okay.
So.
All right, now get to make your assessment. What are the 3 changes? Type all 3 into the chat at once, and the first person to get all 3 in there wins.
They're typing because they think they know.
There's a 20-second delay, so we haven't seen it yet.
You can look.
You should be able to see the 3
I'll tell
different...
you, the winner is going to win a copy of Braiding Sweetgrass, the Indigenous Wisdom, Scientific Knowledge, and the Teachings of Plants.
They don't win the Tesla brochure?
They're not getting the Tesla brochure. We're looking for your chat stream entries, the 3 things. Name the 3 things. Nope, we're not there yet.
Nope. Bow tie, mustache.
No.
Bow tie, mustache, bird in the back.
It's Dawn Marie. Dawn Marie. Excellent.
No, mustache, bow tie, bracelet, mustache on Martha.
Nope. She got
no
it.
tie on Kevin.
It was Dawn Marie, and she wins the copy of Braiding Sweetgrass.
Bow tie, bird moved. That was good. A lot of people got it.
You saw the bird. That was good. That was good. The book is by Robin Wall Kimmerer. It's an amazing book. Okay, that was fun. Now I'm going to take my mustache off.
Why? You look so good. Okay, it's not totally surprising that this group got the 3 things, because there is such a focus on attention.
Yeah. I really didn't think they'd notice the mustache.
No, moving on. Okay, now we have an opportunity for a really cool thing for you to support.
Okay, the Vashon Wilderness Program and Vashon Memorial Island Land Trust are collaborating in planting saplings and investing in healthy habits for our for our collective future. So when you purchase a sapling for $50, either by clicking the button on the bottom of the screen right now or on the home screen, your young tree will be planted in the name of a child that you choose along the new trail on the beautiful Paradise Valley on Vashon Island, which also leads right to our house. Saplings purchased this spring will be lovingly tended by the Vashon Land Trust until they are ready for planting in the fall of 2021. Our generous donors and Vashon Wilderness Program families will have an opportunity to come together to plant the trees together in October.
Okay, now imagine over the years, you and the child can come back to see your tree. Do you know how fast trees grow on this island? Together or separately, to tend its growth. Get to know the creatures that make their homes in and among them, and cultivate a sit spot practice, and so much more. What a meaningful way to help a child fall in love with nature, witness the growth of healthy habitat for our next generation of Earth stewards.
So you can make a $50 donation right now and purchase a sapling for your chosen child by clicking on the sapling tab, which is now on the bottom of your screen. Just click on it, go right away, buy a sapling. It'll get planted in October.
Our next speaker is Ted Packard. Ted's a storyteller, a musician, an artist, a mentor. He spent his formative years roaming the woodlands of Virginia before venturing to the deeper forests of the Pacific Northwest, where he spent years honing his naturalist's curiosity, his survival skills, and a deep love for nurturing connection, which is really part of this program as well. He comes to us now from southwestern Colorado. Please welcome alumni Vashon Wilderness Program mentor, Ted Packard.
Hi everybody. Glad to see you all. Glad to be coming to you tonight from Southwest Colorado to tell you a story. It's a harrowing tale of what it might mean to be a teenager. And I know that some of you once were teenagers, some of you more recently than others. And there's this, I think, a sacred task that teenagers have, which is to leave their home. And with the VWP program, Earthwalkers, that's what we got to do. We would pile into a van and go to the ferry and sail away from home, sail away from parents, sail away from family members, from other friends, and we were able to try out different things because we weren't around all the familiar people and places. And we would go to beautiful and sometimes challenging places where it might rain for 3 days, or we might be in the desert with the sun beating down on us. But we would crank the tunes and tell lots of stories to each other and laugh and laugh and laugh on the way. And this one time, we landed at our campsite for the evening, which was on the side of Hood Canal. And our plan, my co-lead and I, our plan was that we were going to like have fires on the beach, and we were going to do tide pool crawls and learn all the invertebrates, and there were clams and mussels, and we were going to make stone tools and all these wonderful things. And we get there, pull into the beautiful campsite with like giant maples all around us, and open up the doors, and just this poof, wall of smell hits us. And as soon as we smell it, it's like it's inside us and all the way through us. And the smell is very old and very, very dead salmon. Because this campsite, it appears, has a creek that goes along the side of it. And this creek is full of the remains of the salmon run for the year. This entirely natural, beautiful, the way things are supposed to be processed. But in this case, it meant it was hundreds and hundreds of decomposing salmon, like rotting eyeballs. The bears weren't even eating them anymore. It was so gross and really funny, but really gross. And after very little time, we realized we can't actually stay here physically. So we break out the maps, and we're like, into the Olympic Hills we go. And as we're going off into the amazing mountains, the sun's starting to go down, and we're thinking we're getting closer and closer to the beautiful place we're going to stay for the weekend. And all of a sudden, boom, we're driving into a clear cut. And it's not just one clear cut, it's clear cut after clear cut after clear cut. And the feeling of the whole trip just changed the tone of it all. And the farther we went, the more we were feeling. And eventually we pulled over, and my co-lead and I were like, what are we doing? What are we gonna do? What do we need right now? And we realized that what we needed was right there. So we all walked up the hillside together and stood in a circle and spoke and shared. And we shared anger, and we shared sadness, and we shared this feeling of like, this isn't the way it was supposed to be, and this isn't the way the world was supposed to be, and this isn't what we were promised. And the most painful part about it was because we all saw such beauty in the world. That's why we were all there. And so we did the only thing we knew how to do, and we joined hands and we started to sing. And we sang a few different songs, but we sang for the beauty in each other and for the trees that weren't there. We sang for ourselves. And that's the song I'll leave you with. And I have some help here to help me sing it. And you can sing it along. It's a call and response. It goes, forget your perfect offering.
Forget your perfect offering.
Ring the bell that still can ring.
Just ring the bell that still can ring.
There is a crack in everything.
There is a crack in everything.
That's how the light gets in.
That's
How the light gets in. That's how the light gets in. That's how the light gets in. Thanks, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Nice to see you. We miss you. Mwah.
Miss you tons.
Thank you, Ted. How beautiful was that? And at the end there, that was his partner, Annika Faye, who's also been a longtime mentor of Vashon Wilderness Program. Okay, it's game time again.
This is an intellectual memory game here.
Yes, this is just, you can sit, you can eat your pizza, you can whatever, it's all calm and easy. So for you nature lovers, here's a chance to win a prize based on your knowledge of our local ecology. We'll give you some clues, and then you guess what we're talking about.
Yeah.
The first person to correctly type into the chat the correct answer, you win the prize.
Ideally, the detailed correct answer. Okay, here are your clues.
I float among the giants and have many talents. Clue number one.
Second, I can create a thick forest canopy.
Clue number 3, I am a safe highway for canoes.
4, I'm your climate change hero. I'm your climate change hero and a carbon sequestering pro. Okay?
Those are all on your screen.
We're
you can
watching chat.
see
What's
the
the
cues.
answer?
You can see all the clues. Think about it. We're looking at the chat stream.
Climate change.
Put your answer right into the chat stream if you can
Carbon
think of what we
sequestering,
are.
Safe harbor, safe passage for canoes.
Safe
Red Cedar.
highway.
No, good guess, Jane and the Valencia
Safe
family.
highway for canoes.
Safe highway for canoes. Safe
That's
highway
a really
canoes.
big clue. Canoe.
I float
A
among the
river?
giants.
No, that's not it.
Water.
No.
There's water. It's
But we're good. We're
There's
good. Oh, we're getting closer. And I'm getting
seaweed. Seaweed. Come on, give us more detail. More detail. Bulk kelp.
Caroline.
Caroline.
Wow, not
Bull
only kelp, but bull kelp.
Bull
That
kelp.
was special. We were like, nobody's going to write bull
Yeah.
kelp. They're just going to write
Yeah.
kelp.
Yeah.
We had to ask Stacy if that was acceptable answer.
That's
no, bull
fantastic.
kelp.
And the
So,
winner is
the winner is Caroline.
Can you go up
Totally
a little bit on the
fabulous.
script? Thank you so much.
And the prize is a copy of What the Robin Knows: How
Fantastic
Birds
book.
Reveal the Secrets of the Natural World by John Young.
Stacy will
Good job,
contact
Caroline.
you to give you the prize.
Okay,
All
and
right.
that brings us to our next speaker. So great. Davis Luanova is a longtime student and social justice advocate, deeply committed to connection and community. Growing up in Duwamish territory, she was able to participate in nature connection programs that inspired her love of tracking, edible plants, storytelling, songs, ecology, and intentional relationship building, which later fueled her passion as an environmental science major at the University of San Diego. Because of these programs, she was able to cultivate a sense of self within a loving community, within herself, and in the land. And in the past 17 years, she's participated in numerous programs and become a mentor herself. Her roots come from the Hopi and Purepecha people and also from northern Scandinavia. Please welcome Vashon Wilderness Program mentor, Davis Luanova.
Hello, my name is Davis, and I'm going to tell you a story. I'm about to tell you a story that embodies my experience as an urban Indian of the Hopi and Purepecha descent, and a child grown up in the culture of community and 8 Shields mentoring. I invite you to close your eyes. Notice how you're sitting and how your body is feeling. Feel into what you're bringing from this event so far. Relax into being here. Notice how you're grounding yourself. Feel the roots you have to hold you to the earth, and see how it feels to imagine watching them grow deeper and deeper. I will tell you of a childhood. I will tell it in a way that I heard growing up. There was a woman. Dark skin and bright eyes, she sat in a circle in Malala, a sacred yurt on the sacred land of the Dakota people. She felt the bonfire's warmth on her cheeks and on her knees. She watched her friend tend the fire. Her ears opened as her elders spoke. They asked us to sing. We took cedar fronds as offerings and started as one voice, gently melding into a community. Everything I know is only for a moment. Learn to let it go. Live my life like a river flowing. I was raised in the suburbs of Washington to a middle-class family. My siblings and I were homeschooled by my mom and put in an 8 Shields based nature program from the time I was 6 until I started volunteering and working there when I was 16. It was there where I really connected with my indigeneity and the heritage of the land. It was there where I participated in community culture, where I learned how to do practical things like tan a hide, but also how to be truly relational and intentional. This was where I learned grace and experienced the most authenticity and aliveness. I connected to the earth and also other humans. I also was one of the only brown children in these programs. I didn't realize how that affected me in my experience when I was a child. I didn't have language around being indigenous. My family was strongly colonized in the past 3 generations, and so the only place I felt like I could connect to my ancestors and my blood memories of the forest was through the school. Barefoot. Walking through the woods during my last coming-of-age ceremony, I felt the rocks on my skin and the crisp air on my cheeks. I felt the weight of my vow to fast and to not speak, to be sitting alone in the forest for the next 48 hours, marked by the 4 directions, to listen to the forest, to listen to myself, to pause and to say goodbye to this connected community way of living, because I was soon to be stepping into the next phase of my life, college. I was scared of feeling alone. I felt this ceremony, Waterquest, would help me prepare for the self-reliance, love, compassion, and empathy I needed to feel resilient in a world structured so different from my own. I took my spot, took a deep breath, and I held space for myself. I learned how to watch and listen to things I thought I could not. I went to college the next week. It was a jarring experience for me. Never have I had a professor stop because of a beautiful bird singing or had someone bring minds together before a meeting. Never did I smell sage or cedar burning. We were surrounded by noises of construction and voices. We are surrounded by human noise and thoughts. I noticed, going to college, a collective forgetting that we are all caretakers of community and of the plants and animals. When we look out to the land, all those millions of beings also look back. I noticed a collective looking the other way. For the forest still in my bones and the indigeneity in my heart, that was painful to see. It was so meaningful to come back to the land each summer after being away at college in another state. It was an opportunity to reconnect with myself, to remember who I am outside of a classroom. It was also a place that I slowly started challenging. The connection and strength of self that Wilderness Awareness School inspired in me helped me slowly start to use my voice when I noticed injustices. Being at college helped me gain language for equity and race. After being heard and acknowledged by Wilderness Awareness staff, I started to speak loudly about my experiences and the inequity that I faced at Wilderness Awareness School. They responded with care by creating an equity council and starting diversity trainings, requiring a level of knowledge around equity for staff. I even started a Woman of Color Wild Women's course. Through speaking up, I became more confident, and my desire to take on injustice and nature connection deepened. I became as fierce a protector of justice as I was of nature, all while working with young children to share the beauty of this world. After graduating college this spring with an environmental science degree, I had one major hope in mind: to spread love, justice, and connection to the natural world. During this time of a pandemic and lockdown, I realized that so many children were stuck indoors without the ability to engage with the world, have adventures, or play with other children. Children who live in the city had even less access to outdoor experiences, so I created my own preschool in North Seattle, and I started working at VWP. Seeing the delight on children's faces and the inspiration in their hearts as they are given the space to explore their passions in the forest is the best thing I could ask for. Growing up in Coyote mentoring, H Shields culture has been integral in prioritizing community, play, connection, and curiosity in my own life. I hope to bring that to the children. We need connection. We live in a challenging time. There's a reality of uncertainty in the air. My intention for myself is to remember how to feel truly alive every day. I show up to VWP in barefoot with the intention to help everyone remember how to feel fully and connect deeply. I hope that the children will be able to carry that in their hearts as they grow into this world. Thank you for listening to my story.
How incredibly inspiring, what depth of knowledge and story we're getting tonight. And that gets down to the kids. And oh, by the way, one of those kids is smart. It wasn't Caroline who won. It was her daughter, Isabella, who is a mentor.
Yep, she's now a mentor for the Herbal Kids After School program. And she was the one who got bulk help.
Yes,
So
yep.
there you go. She's come up with a program, and obviously it's worn off on her, rubbed in or something.
Why are we here tonight? We've reached the part of the program where you get to give. Even if you've already given already, you get to give again directly to the cause of keeping all the kids who were part of the Vashon Wilderness program and all of their families who were influenced by that in their rubber boots and in the woods. So let's see and hear what the kids have to say themselves about Vashon Wilderness program.
This past year's been crazy, thanks to the pandemic.
My year was kind of boring. I didn't really have much to do.
With school at home, I am usually stressed out with homework and just trying to get on the next call.
I think I spend too much time with my family, if that's possible, and they just get on my nerves.
I didn't have a single play date at all. Get out of the way! Get out of the way! Somebody asked me! When I'm in the nature, I feel more alive. Like I could run all the way to the moon.
I just feel when we come out, it's more of like that I can really like play and not just like sit there.
Well, it's just an escape from home and kind of almost reality.
I really like that we get to learn about the nature, and it's super fun because you get to No kids.
It makes me feel free. It makes me feel disconnected from the city. And it just makes me feel peace.
I think that it's like renewing my spirit when I come here. At first it was really hard. Why are you holding that camera? BWP is a really good place to be free from all your responsibilities. Normally when I go out, when I see trees or grass, I think about a lot of nature, and it's kind of interesting. So great, so great, so great.
It's just fun to run around in the woods and not worry about like social norms as well, because you just get to be in the woods and be with nature, and that's really fun to me.
So great, so great, so great.
People sometimes come here upset from their outside lives, and by the end of the day they're having fun playing in the woods and don't want to leave.
So great, so great, so great.
It's just amazing being here.
It's just awesome. Best part of my week, best part of every week.
And that is what it's about. The mission of the Vashon Wilderness Program is to provide nature immersion experiences that cultivate a deep relationship between self, community, and the natural world. Nearly 2 decades ago marked the beginning of a legacy on Vashon, one that has brought a deep sense of place and connection to nature for the children of the Salish Sea.
Over the past 14 years, Vashon Wilderness Program has grown from serving 24 kids to over 4,500 people of all ages. Making a gift today, right now, will provide Vashon Wilderness Program with much needed support to sustain our programs and our operations through these incredibly challenging times. How much do we need this right now and beyond? Specifically, your support will further our commitment to justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion throughout all of our operations.
Programming that is accessible to more children with a focus on expanding partnerships with the public schools, especially to include cultural minorities and at-risk children. A robust scholarship program to strengthen our legacy of inclusion. Reparations funding to support local BIPOC groups and families in order to create more inclusivity and equitable opportunities for nature connection. And growth and development opportunities for all levels of leadership to build more inclusive community of nature connection professionals.
This is the time, right now.
Now is the time to show our support for these fantastic programs.
Remember, you can donate any amount at any time. You don't have to wait to hear the amount that we give. Give as much as you possibly can as soon as you're ready.
We'll try to call out all your names, but we might miss you. So in case we don't say your name, please know that Vashon Wilderness Program is so grateful for all your donations. This virtual thing is definitely different than doing it live. Everyone watching wants to know, what is their money going to support? It helps to know the specifics. So Kevin, what can we tell all these fabulous people watching at home? What will their donations do?
You have the chance to do this right now. The $2,500 level, we call that the Orca level. Who doesn't want to be part of the Orca level? What that will do was it'll mentor 20 educators in our renowned approach to nature mentoring so they can help 1,000 students become more connected, more grounded, better stewards of the planet.
That's amazing.
We want to thank folks that are giving right now, ladies and gentlemen. Erica Assink, thank you so much to the Dijon family. Thank you to Tessa Francis, who's with us tonight.
The Slades are here donating.
Erica just donated right now. Thank you so much. DeZazos, Hunter and the Bozer family.
The Robbins family. There's donations coming in, Ann and Bob Moses, so thank you for that. At the $1,000 level, if you have enough resource to donate at the $1,000 level.
Which
We're
is
calling
the
it the salmon
level. Huh.
That provides a child with an entire year of mentoring in healthy, sustainable, and peaceful living.
Thank you
That's what $1,000
for
will
Powerton
do.
Bookkeeping for their $1,000 donation. Thank you to VMI Property Management.
The Burley family, Sandra DeJong.
Many anonymous donors are coming in right now, and it's so fantastic. Steve and Virginia Clinton, thank you to the Casons family, a new donation that just came in. Juniper Rognaby, thank you so much
Hi,
right
Juniper.
now.
So at the next level?
The $500 level, we call it the Raven level. That'll help a teen have a healthy balance to their school week in the all outdoor weekend program. It's a critical social, emotional connection in a caring circle of peers and with edgy challenges. Who can give
teens love.
at the $500 level? We want to thank the Robbins family so much. We want to thank Ann and Bob Moses again. Thank you guys. We are at
Amy Kitchener. There's donations coming in. The
Etley family just gave $50. We have a goal of $35,000 tonight, and we have a $29,000 raised so far. So talk about this next level, because this has something important in
at
it.
the $250 level, which is the Western Red Cedar level, we have a $3,000 challenge. So if 12 people were to give at this level, we would meet that $3,000 challenge. If you have it in your pocket, in your bank account, in your heart, to give $250 right now, we would provide 175 hours of nature connection time for an elementary school child so they can thrive at school now and beyond the pandemic. It's so important to have this natural connection. I know it's kept me going all the way through.
If you may have already given a $250 level, if we can get those folks to jump in, we will have a $3,000 match to that. $250, I know I haven't been going out for lattes. That's like 6 lattes. $250, you can do this. That would be so great. Go down a teeny bit for us. We're going to talk about that. A donation right now just came in from Casey Alanis. Thank you so much. Donation from Mark Timken just came in. We are so grateful. The Etley family just donated as well.
Beautiful gifts from all of you. At the $150 level.
Go up one more level. Let's talk about the...
Another match.
Yeah.
And that is a $2,000 match.
The $150 level is the Nettles level.
Which is out in force right now, so eat your nettles.
A $2,000 match means we need 13 people to give at $150.
And that will help a child earn a safety...
safely learn to harvest.
Learn. There's an L missing.
Because it's the
safely learn to harvest wild plants.
What are you suggesting?
For food and medicine.
That we have a teleprompter?
At our Herbal Kids program, which is the program that Isabel is mentoring.
Exactly, $150 level. If we can get a bunch of people, Renee Marceau, thank you for your $500 donation. That's fantastic.
Wow, awesome.
We're looking for those $150 and those $250 donations to get to our match, because there's a total of $5,000 in matches if we can get to that level. Thank you guys so much for your giving. We are so grateful to everyone who's donating right now, and lots of donations are coming in as we speak.
And we want to tell you about one last level that we are going to tell you about the metrics on, but again, any amount at any time and every amount is so fantastic. The $50 level is the Huckleberry level. It provides a set of field guides for our youngest Earth stewards, ages 4 to 6, in their Woodland Ways weekend program. So all the littlest kids get their guides, $50. And remember, a $50 donation is also the level of the saplings. So if you give a $50 donation, you're purchasing a sapling in the name of your favorite person or kid, and that will get planted by the Land Trust. So we are looking at income coming in.
Nancy Matson made a donation.
The Webbs
have made a donation. Thank you so much to
Will
William
Packard.
Will Packard was talked about earlier. Leah and Oli, thank you for your donation. Nancy Peterson, what a great donation you've made. Thank you so much.
So this is going to keep rolling like this. And if you want to go on and keep donating, you can just donate now. You can share this information out with other people and get them to donate. It's really fantastic, and I think
we'll tell you we have made our match.
We
have made our match.
Okay, so we're going to tell you about that in a minute, but we made our match, which means
Sarah Lowry just made a donation. Thank you so much.
And every $50 donation comes with that sapling. So on behalf of Vashon Wilderness Program, I want you to know that it is because of you that these kids will continue to have this amazing relationship to our island.
And many, many more kids will have it.
Who are our co-riders on the planet. They will know and learn themselves in the environment of the natural world, and there is nothing more important. If you know Stacy and the Vashon Wilderness Program at all, then you know how important story and storytelling is to their programs and to Stacy. And while you can keep donating, it is our very great pleasure to welcome this evening one of the world's great storytellers.
Gene Tagaban is one crazy raven, as he's called, and he's an influential storyteller, a trainer, a speaker, a mentor, a performer. He's been featured storyteller across the United States at the Singapore International Storytelling Festival and many, many more. He was honored to perform recently with the Dalai Lama in the presence of an audience of 16,000 children at the Seeds of Compassion gathering in Seattle, Washington. I guess that wasn't recently. It was quite a few years ago. And the Nature Conservancy's 50th anniversary with Jane Goodall. He's a board member and a trainer with the Native Wellness Institute. His credits go on and on. Gene's foremost passion is teaching. Using his gift of storytelling, of dance and music, he travels across the country performing, presenting, and facilitating workshops on suicide prevention, on empowerment, on leadership, on relationship building, communication skills, self-awareness, spirit, and honor to participants of all ages. Please welcome and enjoy the great Gene Tagaban.
Raven. He comes back from a long journey. He's been gone a long time. He comes back to his house, his lodge on top of the mountain. Oh, and he was so tired, and his bed looked so comfortable. And so Raven went to his bed, and he was just about to lay himself down. And then suddenly, up through the trees, up through the valley to the top of the lodge, suddenly Raven heard all these voices talking. Jabber, 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 talk, 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 jabber, jabber, jabber. The wind was carrying him up through the valley, up to his lodge. Oh, Raven was so tired, and he started to get angry. I just want to sleep, Raven says. Who is making all this noise? So Raven gets up. He jumps on the ledge of his lodge, and he dives down, and he flies all the way down into the valley, down to the beach. And by that beach there, on that beach, there was a village. And he saw all the people, and they were just talking, 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 not making any sense at all. One talking to the other one talking to the other, talking to themselves, standing just talking, 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 and words were being thrown out all over the place. There were words spread out on the ground. There was words floating in the water. There were words up in the trees. There were words that got caught in the wind and were just like flying by. Words were scattered everywhere, and the people kept talking. And the more they talked, the more the words just got spread out all over the place. Oh, these people, they had no respect, or they had no reverence for the words, any words. And so finally things started to quiet down, and all the people went to sleep. And Raven, he took a big, large bag, and he took all those words, and he started to put all those words in the bag. He scooped them up from the ground. He gathered them up in the water. He picked them and plucked them from the trees. If a word went flying by in the wind, Raven would catch it and put it into the bag. Soon Raven had all the words, and they were all gathered up in the bag. And Raven said, oh, finally, I'll be able to go to sleep. And so Raven flies to the top of the mountain and lays down in his lodge, and finally is able to sleep. While the people, they started waking up. The first one who woke up in the morning walked outside and made a big yawn. And as soon as he was about to say something, there were no words. He tried to speak. And there were no words that came out. And another person came out, and they tried to speak. And no words came out. As all the people started to come out, everybody tried to speak, and they were like going, all the words were gone. And the people didn't know what to do. So they sat around, and they just watched each other in silence. And they watched. After a while, they watched, but not only did they watch, they started to listen. They listened to the wind. They listened to the singing of the birds. They listened to the waves on the shore. They listened to their own heartbeat. As they sat there and listened, and listened, and listened, soon, they realized that the trees, they could hear their whispers, the little plants. The birds were actually talking to each other in a language that they could understand. The waves were carrying songs from a long, long ways away. They listened, and they heard, and they heard. The people started just to look at each other and just acknowledge each other. They gave each other hugs, pats on the back. They went for walks as they listened to the trees, as the trees told stories, as the land told stories. The mountains themselves told stories, and they listened, and they listened, and they listened. And it was one day, it was an old man. He walked out of his lodge, and he yawned. And a sound came out, and he was amazed. He couldn't say words, but he could make a sound. So he started making sounds, and the people came around, and they started to copy his sounds. And soon everybody was making the same sounds, and the sounds turned into a song. Hey oh, hey oh, hey hoo, hey oh, hey oh, hey oh, hey oh, hey hoo, hey oh, hey oh, hey oh, hey hoo, hey oh, hey oh, hey oh, hey hoo, hey oh, hey oh. They had no meaning, but they had feeling. So they sang with feeling from deep down inside. Hey oh, hey oh, hey oh. And these songs started to travel up through the valley. Up through the valley, and Raven heard these sounds. And he goes down, what is that? And he saw that the people sat in peace, singing together, feeding each other. The birds were flying down, and they were listening to the birds, everything around them. Oh, look at this. This is good. This is good. So Raven takes one word out of the bag, places it down there for them to use. That word was konachish. Thank you. Thank you. Another word. Iksakwani. Love. Khunchi, family. And the people started to use their words very carefully, thoughtfully, respectfully, honorably.
Incredible story. Amazing.
It was beautiful. Story is one of the most profound ways that we make sense of the world. It's a direct taproot into the imagination.
It makes you think differently, pay attention differently. There's 3 things different on the screen. Did you notice that?
It's how we understand ourselves, our world, our place in it. And it brings us together and unites us in a vision, which is how we manifest our reality. It's a blessing to be able to hear such great storytelling. That is a sure way to change the world for the better. That is the tool we get.
It is. We are coming right down to the wire here on this live stream, and I want to remind you that even once the cameras have gone dark and the show is over tonight, you can keep donating. You can share this with people, the link, and make the Vashon Wilderness Program even more thriving and successful. The silent auction is going to remain open until March 23rd, so you can keep on bidding on those items for the next 2 days.
We're at the end of our program this evening, and we want to tell you that we made our match. Yes! And that means that we've raised $37,000 tonight. And we want to thank our matching donors, Catherine and Jeff Payne,
Sarah O'Brien and Nate Parker,
Renee Marceau and Esteban Roach,
Michelle and Peter Reich,
Beth and Craig Lindsay,
Carolyn and Paolo Piani.
We are so grateful. That $37,000 is something that you did tonight. You can keep donating. You can keep bidding on the silent auction for the next 2 days to tell your friends. Really, your generosity and support will carry Vashon Wilderness Program forward into 2021 with cash in hand and love in heart. That is what you did tonight. So thank you on behalf of Vashon Wilderness Program.
We have one more thing for you.
Yeah, we have one more special treat.
It's a little treat. You all know the song. It's going to be a little faster than you know it, so you can sing along where you know the words. This was covered by Bob Dylan, but this is the original. May you grow up to... let's start again. May you grow up to... no.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's fine. We do this all the time. We'll just go backwards. May you grow up to know fungus. May you grow up knowing birds. May you grow up loving nature and describe it with your words. May you build a ladder in the trees and climb up every rung, and may you stay forever young. Forever young, forever young. May you stay forever young. May your fingernails be dirty.
May your toes be filled with mud.
May you watch the grass a-growing
And the flowers as they bud.
May your heart always be joyful. May your song always be sung. And may you stay forever young. Forever young. Forever young. May you stay forever. One more time like you mean it, everybody. Forever young. Forever young. May you stay forever young. We thank you all on behalf of the Vashon Wilderness Program and all the youth that they serve. Tonight we have been creating a story together. And may the generosity and support you have given tonight be a template for the world we want to create as we move forward.
We'd love to give one more shout out to our sponsors for this evening's event. They support Vashon Wilderness Program. We hope you will support them. They're on your slide logo, and we just want you to take a minute to look at who they are.
We're Enjoy Productions. It's been such a pleasure and enjoyable evening to spend with all of you.
We wish you good health in these times, a loving community to sustain you, and we wish you all the best.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you and good night.